Hey guys, this is your coach Rick Terry, and man am I excited. I made it up to the 3rd floor, y'all, Next Level Radio. We about to go live. They done laid the groundwork. They had ladies night up here, and they tore the doggone thing up. They told the doggone thing up. And if you're not listening to this station, you need to get on it, because I'm going to support it 100%. I want you to call your mama, your grandmama. I want you to get in touch with the prison guard and let them listen to it there. I want you to call your enemy. Yes, your enemy, because tonight we're going to make them your frenemy. All right, so come on and join us tonight. We about to have a doggone good time up in here.
Y'all heard him say call your enemy. Get on. Let me call her right now. She's supposed to be here. Call your enemy.
All right, we on. Level Up Radio with your boy DJ Next Level. My co-host Peach is in the building. And we got a special guest for y'all tonight. But before I introduce this guest, I want y'all to hear something that actually, when I first heard it, it touched me. Which is one of the reasons why I'm glad he's here today, because we got some good questions for him. Sit back and listen to this for a second. So this video has been saying.
Good morning, family. This is Coach Rick Terry coming to you from Wando North. Hey guys, I want to remind you of something. And Dr. Maya Angelou said it in her poem, I Rise. I want to remind you that many of us, especially us of color, we are the descendants of slaves. We have no choice but to rise. We have been through a lot, and I promise you we will go through even more. But history says we are a people who are known to rise. Whatever you're going through today, I want you to tell yourself, I have a right to rise. I want you to get up, take up your bed and walk, as it says in the good book. Even if for a while you must walk with a limp. My name is Coach Rick Terry, president of Wando North, and I am your coach.
Yeah, so if you didn't catch that, I have the success coach, Mr. Ricky Terry, in the building. How you doing, sir?
I am doing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious good. How you doing, my
Man,
brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for coming in with us, man.
Thank you for having me here. You have no idea how happy I am. And I know you got some questions, and I know y'all got a format, but I've got to tell you. One, never, ever underappreciate the opportunities that are given to you. And the mere fact that you guys rolled out the carpet for me. You laid down the groundwork with this ladies' night. You guys, we were listening to y'all coming over here, and we were cracking up, but we also found the seriousness in what you guys are doing. And I just get the feeling, you tell me if I'm wrong, I really get the feeling you living out a dream, brother. Am I right or wrong? Are you living out a dream right now, or is this just something you're doing?
Nah, I take this very seriously. Actually, my DJ is one of my partners. The other two, they'll be here shortly because we have another show directly afterwards. But when we started this, it was started based on what we saw as a need, what we saw as an opportunity. We were all together on a radio show at another station, and we saw, some of the trials and tribulations that we went through there. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that we all kind of came together and said is that, we can do this and we can do this better. And not only can we do this better, but we can do this with the thought in mind that people that come and work with us, we stand behind them. See, a lot of people get out here and they start these businesses in this field, and they're all about what they can make and what they can do. But our focus is we want to see what you can do, and we want to give you the opportunity to do it, because if you grow, we grow. We're at the top.
I got something for you.
Okay.
And I'm sure you've heard of Zig Ziglar. He is one of my mentors. I was blessed to have him as a mentor. And one of the things he said, no matter who you are, no matter where you are in your life, if you really want to get ahead, help enough people do what they want to do, get what they want to get, and you'll get everything you want.
I agree.
You just got to, and you said it, you got to find a problem and hand it a solution. And I think that's what you guys are doing here. That's one of the things that drew me here. It's one of the things that's going to make me throw my support behind you guys, because we need you.
Yeah.
Listen to me. There are young men and young women, and some that aren't so young, who are still, they're still in the race for their dream, man. When I was a kid, when I was a little kid growing up in the projects in a bootleg liquor house in North Carolina, I had one thing that nobody else had in the whole world. From 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., I had a black radio station.
Okay.
You hear me?
Okay.
And it only came on Fridays. WBMU FM Asheville. And the DJ was the boss man. He would say, white is lovely, pink is grand, but black's the color of the boss man.
I know that's right.
Yes.
I know that's right.
And I remember that from 8 and 9 years old. And I said to myself, because you never know what kid over in Northeast or Northwest or Southeast or up in Delaware or maybe even over in Germany. Because you guys are not just local.
That's right.
You never know who that kid is, who that guy that wanted to cut a record, that lady that said, you know, I thought I could start a business. And you guys are living proof. You are living proof that you can start right now. That's the number one question I hear all the time. How do I get started? It's the number one question
Take a
I
step.
get everywhere I speak is, how do I get started? Well, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step.
That's it.
And I ask people all the time, now that you know you want to start, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I'll
no,
get
You know
on the
what?
roll.
I just feel I'm inspired with
Look,
the energy. You know what I'm
just
saying?
there.
Energy that
That's
is here.
enough.
I'm just inspired.
Just
I
know
mean,
this is him
soon
all
as he-
day, every day.
As soon as he walked through the door,
So-
he had positive energy. You know me, I love positive
And a
energy.
bad suit.
Right, in a bad suit.
Come on,
hey,
give me a
hey, he
bad suit and a tie.
was, hey,
Here
he
for
came in
it.
here fresh to death. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, can I explain that? Because I really, where my man at? I really want to explain that to people. One, I said it to one of the young ladies that was here. Was it Almond?
Harmony?
Omni.
Omni. I said it to
Omni.
Omni.
Like your arm and your knee,
Like,
baby.
Omni. One of the lessons, I believe I've been blessed with being one of the tribal leaders, especially for my clan. You know, I come from the tribe of Terry, and we are proud. I have 6 sisters, no brothers. I'm the only boy and the oldest, and we grew up in the 60s and 70s, and with a single mom, a grandmom, and a grandfather. And one of the things my grandmother always said to me, be who you say you are.
Yeah.
You know, I got nothing against jeans or khakis or pullovers, but I'm a success coach. I'm a success coach. So I gotta be who I say I am.
I agree.
I gotta be where I say I'm gonna be. I gotta do what I say I gotta do. I got to be more than an image. I've got to be the person I say I am. And I would share to anybody, if you're singing in the subway and you say you are an entertainer, then be an entertainer. If you say you are a poet, then be. Wait a minute, hold on a minute. I don't know who got this camera on the back of my head, knowing I got a little spotlight there on top. That's gonna happen.
But you know what, Terry?
Get off my ball
Rotate it,
head.
rotate it round.
Rick, I think a prime example of be who you are. So I know you remember when you took me from being a technician.
I took you from
You
being a
took me from being a technician.
I did. It took a
move
year. It took a year.
It was a move. And then when I became a sales rep, you was like, "Oh, we gonna put this skirt on and these heels." I don't
That's
know if
right.
you remember saying all
Yes, I
that.
do.
Yes.
And you know that just wasn't me.
And what did I say to the guys? Tell them what I, just so anybody call in talking about, oh, he see what he being. Tell them what I told the
I don't
guys.
know what you telling me.
I told the guys, you're gonna have to tie up.
You're right.
You're gonna have to tie up and slide down.
And what did I
Understand it.
and I had fun doing that for the year, the whole time with jazz in my belly. But I wound up going back to who I was.
Which was, go ahead.
Back in my boots
Natural.
and Dickies and
Well, one of the things I coach sports at a lot of different levels, and one of the things I want to use is a golf and baseball analogy. Every individual, whether you're 8 or 80, at some point you're gonna have to find out where your If y'all not writing this down, you're wrong.
Wait a minute, you speaking my whole life.
I need you to write
talking.
I need you to write this down.
We're recording.
Oh, you're recording. Okay.
You see everybody phone out.
I got you.
Everybody phone out in
Phones
here.
out.
One
You
of
definitely
the
has
things.
everybody's attention.
One of the things you've got to do, 8 or 80, is at some point in your life, you've got to figure out where your sweet spot is. On a baseball bat, if you want to hit a home run, you ask any baseball player, whether it's little league or majors, they'll tell you the most important part of that bat is the sweet spot. Now, I'm a golfer. My wife is a golfer. We golf. We understand if we don't hit the sweet spot more times than not, it's going to be a very long day.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I could tell anybody anything, narrow down what your sweet spot is. Now, other speakers will call that your passion. Okay, passion is great, but sometimes your passion can't turn into a profit.
Right.
Well,
Not everybody's passion translates to dollars.
You're right.
But if you find that sweet spot, some people, I did comedy. It's on my site and everything. I hung out with Bill Bellamy and Chris Tucker and Don D.C. Curry and a host of entertainers. And I used to sit and watch. When would they in the routine? And if you watch another routine, watch for one thing. Watch the sweet spot. That's what gets them booked. All the other, how you doing, New York? That don't get them booked.
Right. Right.
It's that sweet spot. So I want you to recognize your sweet spot and then learn how to feed it.
Okay.
If you can recognize, it's on this show. I listened to y'all 3 times now. I know exactly where the sweet spot is. I know exactly where it is. In listening to this show, I know exactly where the sweet spot was at before I got in here. It was humming. Y'all were humming. Y'all were in the groove.
y'all see the ladies got that sweet spot going. Yeah, I understand it.
It's
I like
us.
to think the fellas had something to do
No,
with
no, no, no.
We was having
It's the
that
ladies.
time. We
My
definitely
ladies
was
is the
moving
sweet
down
spot.
to-
Y'all
My
was
job
alright,
is just to
but
point it out. I'm sorry.
It's all
But,
a child.
but I agree with you 100%. And you know, the crazy part about it is, and this just got to be fate in my mind. I was actually driving over here to the studio today, and a lot of times I listen to different radio shows just to kind of get my niche, get my mind together. And Rude Jude, who's on satellite radio,
Right.
He's a favorite.
yeah, one of my favorite personalities. Mostly because, you know, he's funny, but he's also serious with it. He brings in some serious topics, things of that nature. He had a guy on his show today, and I believe it was an actual rerun because he may be on vacation. But the guy's name was David Goggins. I'm sorry, David Goggins. Former military guy. He was telling the story about his life, and one of the things that he said that stuck out in my mind was, in anything that you do in life, you have to understand you can't do anything in fear. You got to take that step, and you got to take that chance. You know, if not only that, he was talking about how people are so hung up on things that happened in their past and things that have kind of kept them down, that they're so afraid to actually take that step and move up. And I guess that's where, you know, I kind of want some insight from you. Like, what do you recommend to people who, for example, I mean, I've owned a couple different businesses. This is kind of the one that I feel is my niche.
It's
This
your
is where I am.
It's your
Yeah,
baby,
because
right.
I've literally seen this from the ground up. And the people, there's been people that have come and go, but the one thing that has stayed constant with me with this situation is that I'm constantly going. I can't think about the past, and it feels good because I'm starting to see things flow in the light.
Well, I'm going to say, first of all, to everyone, there's some basic principles that I live by. One, it's called the 11 Principles of Leadership. I teach this in corporate America, and trust me, I should be charging a lot more than I charge. But it's over 200 years old. It has never been changed, not even by me. I highly recommend we talk about that at some point, because these 11 principles will change your life. It'll change anybody's life. And it happens from what you want to do, not what you have to do. Now, having said that, one of the other things I live by is we do the things we have to so we can do the things we want to. I told that if Michelle didn't tell you, she worked for me.
Okay.
Or sometimes I felt like I worked for her.
Oh, we
and-
get that around here too.
That
Okay.
sound like betrayal. They're getting it.
and
I'm trying. I'm
and
doing
she
it.
was the queen of our team. I had a sales team. All the stuff that corporate America now is paying for, I had the privilege of practicing in my sandbox with them, and they kept me straight. One of the things I tell people who are chasing a dream is start practicing right where you are. When I was with corporate America in the security industry, they titled me a sales manager. I rebranded that and say, no, I'm a sales leader.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
and I said it enough till they start saying it.
Gotcha.
Okay. The other thing I did was I made sure I became an expert at what I was good at. Because I believe this: good, better, best, never let it rest until your good is better and your better is your best. And you got to always be striving for that. And where you are right now, to answer your question, let me go back one if I can. You were talking about the young man's military background. Have you heard of the Green Beret?
Yes.
Have you heard of the Navy SEALs?
Yes.
The United States Army Rangers,
Yep.
the Special Forces, Delta. If you're
Yep.
sitting next to a Delta, you don't know it, okay? A Delta. None of them become any of these elite that we've heard about until they go through a person like me. I'm a former United States Army drill instructor. That's 7 hours a day, 7 days a week, 18 hours a day for 3
Imagine
years.
working for him.
Yeah, imagine working for me.
Knocking the door.
The standards are high.
Right.
When you really have a determination to go somewhere, to be somebody, it might not be the best time to start learning how to do that. Then you've got to rely on what you already have, and then you improve on what you already have. So I've heard people say, when is a good time? We were talking about that earlier. Right now.
Right.
Now.
As we say in North Carolina, right now.
Yeah.
Okay? So building it from the ground up, there's something special about that. I don't know if you know this. I'm a former pastor of 2 churches. I've done the stand-up comedy. I've owned some businesses. All of that came back from growing up in the projects. They would knock on my grandmother's door at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, hey, Miss Mildred, can I get a 50-cent shot? I'll pay you on Friday. Mm-hmm. And she would get up and open the door and treat them like it was 9 a.m. in the morning and that was the first drink. Mm-hmm. And so that boiled over to me. Anything I do, I'm going to give it everything I got, because I don't know about you, but I love what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm helping people. Even if all I get to do is help one. And the reason why I get to help that one is this beautiful queen. I don't even have to look at her. She's standing right there on my right.
Yes.
I know that's
Come on.
Clap
Get
for her,
that.
clap for her.
Is that
One day.
you got
Tissue.
it. This dream, this vision that I'm in it because my family okayed it. I'm in it because they have not only been in front of every bump, but they've picked me up on every time I felt like I couldn't go on, because you're going to have some moments when you can't go on. I need you to do me a favor, because I can sense the thing in this room. Ask me what I'm really good at, sir.
What are you really good at?
I'm good at connecting. I might not be the best leader. I know my verbs and my subjects don't come together properly. But I've been blessed to connect with people. And one of the things I wanted to say that ran through my mind the other day, there's somebody that's driving, listening to this. Maybe you're chasing behind the kids, you're trying to still cook dinner. Maybe you're in this room, I don't know.
Maybe you
But
filming you right
I'm
now.
telling you that you don't have that much farther to go. I know it seems like I wish I could see you. I wish I could get in front of you to tell you that your talents and your gifts are not abandoning you. I don't know if it's singing. I don't know if it's speaking. I don't know if it's starting a business. But I want to remind you before you give up, especially during these trying times like the holidays, where you don't have enough money to put presents under the tree. You don't have enough money to put gas in your car. You don't even know how your kid's going to make it, or more importantly, how you're going to make it. But I want to tell you, don't give up, don't give in, and don't give out. You don't have that much farther to go. I need you to hang in there and take one more step towards your dream. You know, I wanted to be a DJ. That's what I was going to tell you as a kid. I had a little record player in my room that had a lid on it, and there was a picture of a DJ. My life didn't turn out like that. But then again, I never lost sight of it. Don't ever, even if you find yourself flipping burgers, never lose sight of your dream. I never lost sight of it, and there are 4 microphones in this room. The room is filled with beautiful people. I love the background music. The DJ knows exactly what to do. You are bringing the questions. All right, your partner in crime, and yes, I said crime. Your partner in crime is one of the baddest producers on the planet, and I'm here living out my dream. So I want to say to anybody that's thinking about living out your dream, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it.
Everybody in here.
And if you make some mistakes, I got something for you. I'm going to get real close to the mic. If you make a mistake, who gives a damn? Start over.
That's right.
Hey.
Why don't you tell us about Wonder North?
Wait a minute.
Thank you.
He got
We passed the collection plate real quick.
I want you to hold that thought.
Okay.
We're gonna play one song so we can regroup, because I'm telling you, you just
You got LED
really-
brand my makeup all
like,
hold on.
you don't
Why?
understand the chills I got going on right now. So,
Oh, my.
can we get one song
You
real quick?
came
B?
here as a
I
blessing.
gotta dance the
Oh, he
baby.
definitely
Wait a
blessed-
minute.
He definitely blessed the studio. That's all I can say.